Right, welcome back, everybody. You are watching the Now Morning Show right here on TTT. We're also on Talk City 91.1 FM, and of course, we're streaming live on Facebook at the Now Morning Show Facebook page. Now we're going to speak about Habitat for Humanity and the wonderful work that they do. With me this morning to ventilate the subject a little bit, it's Tracy Hutchinson Wallace, who is the Corporate Communications Officer, as well as Jamil Huggins, who is the DR3 Coordinator. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Carrie.
And we'll have to tell you welcome back.
Yeah.
Now, Habitat for Humanity has been doing wonderful work for a number of years, but maybe not everybody who is watching may know the type of work that you do. So if you'd like to just give us a brief overview of the work of Habitat for Humanity.
All right. Well, we've been around in Trinidad and Tobago since 1997. We're actually celebrating our 23rd anniversary on Saturday, March 14th. And in that time, we've been able to impact about 24,000 people.
Wow.
Yes, by offering them solutions for shelter to help them build or renovate or improve their living conditions, by offering various types of training, life skills training, capacity building training, and for helping them with things like family emergency training, which is what Jamil is doing a lot of in the last few
as the DR3 coordinator,
yes.
So I guess it would include things such as natural disasters and how to prepare for it, and also how to recover from it if you are a victim of it as well. So, that's just touching on some of the work that you do, but I know that there is a celebration coming up.
Yes, well, actually, because it's our 23rd anniversary and we want to really start making a much larger impact now, we just launched our capital campaign, which is a major fundraising venture that's led by Mr. Sunarayan Kusal of Kusal's group of companies. And the idea is to raise $58.5 million within the next 5 years.
Wow.
So that we can build shelters with 550 families, so that we can train a little over 2,000 people in disaster preparation.
50-point-something million is a tall order.
50.5 is a tall order, but we've done something similar before.
Okay.
And the need is there because we're now expanding to the Caribbean.
Right.
Habitat Trinidad and Tobago is the only English-speaking habitat in this region. We're attached to Latin America region, which means that we are the lead body dealing with hurricane response and recovery and earthquake response and recovery. So this money that's being collected is going to go a long way towards helping more people throughout the Caribbean, much like we did in Dominica with the Luzon World Relief, helping people to recover effectively and quickly and bounce back from hurricanes and other natural disasters.
Jamil, in your seat as the DR3 coordinator, what are some of the main things, like the primary things that a family or a community may need as pertains to recovery from a disaster?
Well, what we advise people to do is to prepare first, because a natural hazard is what has the possibility to turn a community into a disaster if you don't prepare. So by building preparedness through proper mitigation and having an emergency kit, and within this emergency kit you'll have your hygiene kit, your first aid kit, and all the important necessary equipments and items needed for you and your family during a disaster. This is what we advise people to do. So when you're building your homes, a simple thing as ensuring you have hurricane straps to keep your roof safe, ensuring that your eaves don't extend too long, because this surface area could cause damage when it's broken off.
Right.
And packing all the essential items you will need, such as medication. Hygiene kit is very important, and we see what's going on in this world right now.
Correct.
That's right. So your hygiene kits are important items, and your first aid kit, because if you get sick and you can't go into the hospital or anything, you want to make sure you have the necessary supplies to take care of yourself and your family. And one last advice I would ask people is consider babies and those with special needs and the elderly at home, because we tend to pack items for ourselves, but consider your family members who don't eat meat, who may be fasting, and those who have personal sickness or non-communicable diseases, and they have a special diet. Pack emergency kit supplies in store for them, and that is what we do. And last thing, we go into communities and we actually help them train and prepare for themselves, not just educate, but we do community projects. So in case something has to happen, the community could be able to respond on their own.
So you teach the man to fish rather than give him a fish.
That is actually the key. As I was telling them recently, I say we build one family at a time, which in turns build one household at a time, building one community, and that is what you need to do to build an entire country. So it's a chain reaction, but we need to work together. We can't do it alone. And
Definitely.
as you see, young people taking lead and making changes happen, that's the key to everything.
Definitely. One key thing you said there, though, is that you can't do it alone. So who is some of the support that you have for these projects and this upcoming campaign?
Oh, well, we've actually got quite a bit of support for the campaign itself. We've got several really high-profile people who are going to be helping us open doors. People like Dominic Hadid from Blue Waters, Gregory Aboud from Downtown Merchants Association, Dawn Thomas from OCM, Gabriel Faria from the Chamber. So these are all people who you will hear from in the weeks and the months to come, who we hope will be able to get more of their corporate peers engaged in what we're doing. In terms of our partners, we've got several. The one that we're working with most closely at the moment and who's helping Jamil with his emergency preparedness is the Proman family of companies.
Right.
They have very, very deep roots in Trinidad.
Right.
Real deep roots. And they came on board last year, immediately after the October flooding. And they have been working very closely with us to get that message out to communities that they've got to be prepared for something to happen.
Definitely.
And they've got to think about these things before.
Excellent.
So it's really been a good experience for us so far.
All right. And before we close, if there was anybody, corporate or people who are willing to volunteer, how do they contact Habitat for Humanity?
Well, our website is habitat-tt.org. But if you Google us, you're going to find Habitat Trinidad and Tobago right at the top of every possible.
Wow.
Yeah. We've been doing some good work
Excellent,
over the
excellent.
years.
And with that, I want to thank you both for joining me this morning and giving us this information. Tracy Hutchinson Wallace, Corporate Communications Officer, as well as Jamil Huggins, DR3 Coordinator.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break and come back with much more. Stay with us.